going to be another little Christmassy walk. So everyone's home. Look, you can tell when everyone's home. Shall I talk you through it? But the neighbours have got very nice Christmas decorations up, haven't they? Should we go and have a little look? So we're on a keto channel, defending Elvis Presley, fan on keto. So the reason we call this the keto channel, in case you're new, is that I have been on the carnivore keto diet under the guidance of Dr. Ken Berry for 3 years, and it literally transformed my health. Got rid of my ulcerative colitis. It stopped me being pre-diabetic. It definitely will stop you being type 2 diabetic. And it also lowered my blood pressure, my blood sugars. And I used to have dizzy spells, don't have them anymore. I lost 1.5 stone in weight. It transformed my sleep, and it got rid of all my anxiety. I have no anxiety anymore. And it gave me loads of energy and made me feel very young. I'm 58 years old. So when everyone's home, because all the cars are home. So you got Dad's car, which I've had for about 6.5 years. It's a van. Obviously, got my hobby car in the garage, which I did drive yesterday, my 1967 split screen. So this is my daughter's new car that she's only had about 3 weeks, I think. And it's going well, no problems. Hope I haven't jinxed it. And my wife's car, which did start off a pain in the ass, but is fully working now. And my son's car is a Volkswagen Polo, which did have a couple of little problems, but seems okay now. So, when everyone's home, because all the cars are home. My bedroom, if you look up there, see the light on? We have an ensuite. So that light on upstairs is our ensuite. So we've had this house for about 18 years. It's funny because I always remember where I grew up. So the house I grew up in was a restaurant, chip shop, that above it had a tiny little flat. The whole place was derelict. And I left home when I was 15. I was determined to move out and do my own thing. And I never thought I'd ever live anywhere longer than I lived, in the home that I grew up in on the seaside. I grew up near the seafront, across the road from the beach, the promenade, opposite 3 discotheques. So when I was growing up, discotheques were all the rage, Saturday Night Fever. And I used to look out the window watching everyone coming out the discos. When I was just a little boy, like 8, 9, 10, whatever. Everyone was dressed up in 70s style, of course, disco high heel shoes, and just how people dressed in the 70s. And I found it quite exciting. You could see the cars going up and down the road where the nightclubs were all situated. There would be fights outside, and people would be chatting in the street for ages at like 2 in the morning, because then the nightclubs would all kick out at 2 a.m. in those days. And it made me pretty addicted. So when I say addicted, I wanted to be part of that atmosphere. So when I did get to 16 years old, encouraged by my twin brother, we started going up the discos. And because my father knew the owners of the discos, they let us in when we were 16, me and my twin brother with our mates. We would have drinks. Drinks then, you could buy a drink for 50p. Sometimes even 20p. So we used to go to the nightclubs it's generally Friday, Saturday, but we would go on a Thursday if they were doing a promotion. And the music was very mixed. Michael Jackson, George Michael. There was no hard dance music. You had Karma Chameleon, Culture Club, Duran Duran, Spandau Ballet, and David Bowie. And just trying to think all the musics that were in when I was 16. So it would have been, let me try and work out the year. 1983, is it? I really enjoyed Wham. Wham was one of my favorite. Wham, big time. I loved Wham. Yeah. Uh, just very happy days. I remember walking into my first ever disco. It was called Stars, and I just remember thinking, wow, it was like being born again. It was like, yeah, you know, you could hear the loud music, the bright lights. They would use garish colors like bright reds and blacks and silver, and you have the spinning disco lights. And these discos, to have a good name, they would put a really good light system in, and they would boast about their light system. They would do disco light shows. They'd actually have specific times for the show. So we'd all gather around and watch the light show of the disco. And then in those days, when people were dancing, you'd stand around. If someone was a very good dancer, you'd stand around them and watch them. They would get the center of attention. And there were loads of dance routines. So you'd have certain songs would come on and people would know the routine, the dance routine. So we'd all get in lines and we'd do this dance routine to these certain songs. They do it in Saturday Night Fever, don't they? With John Travolta. I was a massive fan of Saturday Night Fever. Still am. I watch it all the time. It's free on YouTube, so I watch it. Um, Sometimes every day. I just enjoy the atmosphere. I love seeing the nightclubs, how they looked with the booths, and you could get a bit of food, couldn't you, in the nightclubs in those days? They were much more comfortable. And so little did I know that one day I would own 4 of them. I've always felt that the influence of living across the road from 3 nightclubs in the 70s, I've always thought that that influence is why I eventually wanted my own. I wanted to open a bar. When I opened a bar, I didn't do a normal bar. I did a disco bar. So in those days, we called them fun pubs. So my first bar I opened was called a fun pub. Steam Rock Fun Pub. Right, let's take the dog out, shall we? Right, Ella, you gonna say hello? Yeah, we're with Ella. We're on the Keto channel. Ella, you want to say hello? Ella, you want to say hello or not? Not really. She's more interested in having a walk. So yeah, it was so basically because it was a fun pub, we added a dance floor and a DJ console, some disco lights, and it was a massive success. It was across the road from the beach, and we loved it. Me and my twin brother, we loved it. We still own it. We still own it, but we've rented it. It's been rented for 20 years. Maybe not 20. Let me just think. We rented it. I think no, it's not 20. We rented it 12 years ago. We've owned it since 1996. So it's been a long time. We spent a lot of time there. I DJ'd there. I don't know if you lot know, but I was a DJ in my bars and nightclubs for 26 years. In fact, a big part of my romancing with my wife, Aurora, was in my discos, in my bars. We would stay late and have a drink and have some fun. Once the kids started getting a bit big. So what happened was, when I first met my wife, we would go out most weekends. She loves having a drink. We do right, stay here. Come on. So when I first met my wife, we would go out weekends, Friday or Saturday. We'd have a drink. She'd wait for me to finish DJing. We'd have a drink and some fun. But then as the babies came, 'cause we had 2 babies very quickly, we would just go out now and then. We'd get a babysitter, not very often. We didn't trust anyone with the babies. And so then it gradually declined. Eventually, I stopped going to discos. I completely gave up drinking. And I became a boring old fart. She still wants to go out there. My wife loves going out, but she doesn't go out that often, maybe once every 3 weeks. But when she is out, she loves it. Woo. She's 42 going on 20. Actually, 42 going on 18. So we're on the Keto channel. Elvis Presley fan on Keto. I'm on the carnivore diet, the Keto diet. Dr. Ken Berry and he's got a wife who is a nurse called Nisha. She has her own channel. Every Monday night, they do question answer lives on YouTube. Now, these Monday night lives are very important because when I discovered the diet, I questioned it. I didn't believe it. So when I was reading about fasting, giving up carbs, stopping eating sugar, only eating twice a day, that cholesterol was not bad for you. The cholesterol that you eat is not bad for you. When I didn't believe it. I doubted it. I thought, nah, that ain't right. Cholesterol's going to kill you. Then it said meat, butter, and eggs are good for you. I was like, no, we've always been told that it isn't good for you. So I really did doubt the diet. Honestly, guys, I really thought the diet was a fad. When the thing was brought up about fasting, I really thought fasting can't be good. Starving yourself can't be good for your body. You need food for energy. You get it, guys? So I really did challenge the diet. So this is what I decided. I'd heard that you could lose weight fast through the carnivore diet, through the keto diet, listening to Dr. Ken Berry's advice. I looked at some people that had success on the carnivore diet, the keto diet. I understood the difference. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go. So what I started doing was listening to Monday night, Dr. Ken Berry on Monday nights, listening to him and the advice that he would give. So the best way to listen to advice is to listen to people asking questions. They would go live on a Monday night. You'd get about 50 questions in an hour. They would do it for an hour. Now, all of these questions that were being asked really made me understand the way that the carnivore diet works, the way keto diet works. It explained to me about blood sugars, about your blood pressure, about ketosis. Look up ketosis, guys. It explained to me that you don't need, hi, Elizabeth. I'm talking about the keto diet at the moment. It explained to me that you don't need sugar to live. I'd always been trained through society in the last 40 odd years of living that you need sugar for energy. Well, I've now found out you don't. You need carbs to survive, to function, to have energy. Well, I now know you don't. In fact, I found out the opposite. I found out that your body ancestrally wasn't designed to live off sugar, to live off carbs. It was actually designed to live off fatty meat and eggs and fish and water and salt, which is a bit of a shock, to be honest with you, because I'd always thought to be healthy, you've got to have a salad or you've got to have fruit. So I would binge on fruit and salad and it would make me think, oh, yes, that's healthy. I never used to think about the fact that all of the majority of the foods I was eating was turning into sugar. One thing we all know is sugar is bad for us. Don't we all know that? I think that's one thing we do know is that sugar isn't good for us. Makes us put on a lot of weight. Isn't good for our health. Now, when I started listening to Dr. Ken Berry, and he was saying, "Do you know bread turns to sugar metabolizes into sugar, whatever it is. I don't know what the right word is. Pasta turns to sugar. Vegetables turn to sugar. Get it? Oats turn to sugar. Cereals turn to sugar. Potato. People use the word starch. Starch is another word for sugar. When I started realizing all the different foods that turn to sugar, yeah, Elizabeth, low carb salad, yeah, low carb and not too much. There is some goodness in there. The problem you got to understand how the body digests food. Your body is designed to digest meat, eggs, fish, yeah? Your body struggles digesting salads. Getting the goodness out of salad, the vitamins, the nutrients, whatever it is, your body struggles getting the goodness out of salad. Whereas with meat and eggs, or meats and fish, your body absorbs it. When you eat meat and eggs, your body naturally absorbs it because it was designed to through evolution. It does it easily. It struggles to absorb vegetables and fruits. In fact, you get a lot of waste product when you eat vegetables, potatoes, salads, fruits. You get a lot of waste. Fiber isn't good for you. There is no nutritional goodness in fiber. There is almost zero nutritional goodness in cereals. Now I know that they'll throw in some dry bananas, dry fruit and stuff to try and make it sound healthy, but it isn't. Remember, in fruits, there is a lot of fructose. Well, fructose is a sugar. You put on weight. Fructose. Now, the body dissolves fructose separately than normal. So the body uses the liver to digest, absorb, cook. I'm no doctor. Fructose. So fructose makes you get fatty liver if you have too much of it. Fructose can cause problems with your liver. So people binge on fruit thinking it's good for them. They're actually making themselves unwell, causing fatty liver. I understand that there are vitamins in fruit, but the body struggles to digest the vitamins that are in fruit. The other lesson I learned was this. Meat has everything in it, and eggs, that your body needs. And fat, even fat, has lots of nutrition in it. Vitamins, nutrition. People don't realize this. The fat on meat is very good for you. It's a shock. It's a shock, isn't it? I was shocked. When I was told that the fat in meat is good for you, I was shocked. I was surprised. Meat has every vitamin, nutrient, and fatty acid that your body needs to survive. Your body does not need carbs. Your body does not need fruit. Doesn't need it. It's not an essential thing for your body, but your body does need fatty meat and eggs, salt, water. Get it? So the way that we've been educated to eat isn't correct. Now, low carb vegetables and fruits are okay as long as you don't have too many. Like today, no, tonight I'll have a steak and I'll make a small salad to go with it. But I don't need the salad. I may even have an orange as well because I don't mind having a small bit of fruit. But it won't be good for me. The orange, I'm not eating the orange because it's good for me. I'm eating it because I like the taste of an orange. That's why I call myself keto. That's why I say that I'm on the keto diet. Because I'll have a bit of onion with my steak. I'll have a small piece of fruit after my meal, like a tangerine. I try and stay away from very sweet fruits, like grapes are full of sugar. Grapes, I've always felt that grapes are not very good for you, like eating mouthfuls of sugar. The other thing is, I've always had a real problem with potato. Potato really disturbs my stomach. I know that if I have potato, that the next day I won't feel well. Same goes for bread. Any color bread. It doesn't matter what color the bread is. Could be white, brown. It's not good for you. Doesn't matter what they put in it. Granular or seeds, whatever it is, ain't good for you. It turns to sugar. Same goes for rice and pasta. It doesn't matter if it's different colored. It doesn't matter if it's organic. It's still not good for you. This is the con. This is the trick. So you've got these massive corporations like Kellogg's. They're making all these very beautiful looking cereals, promoting them as health foods, but they're not. There's nothing healthy about a cereal. So, they promote us to have cereal in the morning. You don't need it. You don't need it. I mean, if you are going to have breakfast, have eggs and bacon. When I was told that bacon was a health food, I laughed. I laughed at it. I was like, what are you talking about? How can bacon be a health food? It's full of fat. I always used to pull my fat off. I always used to pull the fat off my meat. Now I know that you keep the fat. Now I know that fat equals energy. Now I know that fat is very good for you. It does take a while to adjust, guys. I'll be honest with you. Just pull this up a bit. It does take a while to adjust. Psychologically, it is very difficult for your brain to accept that bacon is good for you, that meat is good for you, eggs are good for you, that salads are not good for you, that fruit isn't good for you. It's very hard for your brain to digest that because you've been told and conditioned for the last 70 years that, that the foods that are bad for us are good for us. Foods that are good for us are bad for us. This is the con. This is the mix-up. Now, I'm sure there'll be some of you that watch this video tonight because a lot of you watch this through the night, don't you? Because I'm in England, you're all asleep or you're all just getting up. Many of you will watch this through the night, yeah? Good morning to you, by the way. Hope you had a good night's sleep. And you'll think, what's he on about? That carnivore diet sounds really odd. The keto diet sounds like a fad. And you'll doubt it. You'll be like, nah, it's rubbish. It's so obvious cholesterol's bad for you. Cholesterol will just give you a heart attack and a stroke. Hi, Deborah. How are you? I'm just doing a quick dog walk. I'm nearly home now. So the way I was like you guys, I doubted it. I doubted the diet. Yeah. I had to do it to understand that it works. So first of all, I did it with myself. First of all, I experimented with the diet on myself, the keto diet, the carnivore diet. Once I realized that it worked, the first clue that it worked was that my energy levels shot up. So after 3 days of starting the diet, only eating once a day at first, quite a large meal. I ate a very big meal. After 3 days of doing the diet, I could feel my energy levels shooting up, and that was the first signal to me that the diet works. Then I noticed my toilet habits went back to normal after 12 years of having ulcerative colitis and taking very strong steroids. Prednisolone, that is the name of the steroid I was on. Prednisolone. After 12 years of being sick, after 3 days of stopping sugar, stopping pasta, stopping pizza, stopping many of the foods like snacking, chocolates, cakes, cereals. Literally within 3 days, my body started to go back to normal. I started going to the toilet normally after 12 years. Get it? I knew it was going to work. I knew very quickly because I had this weird energy, the same energy I had when I was a kid. Do any of you remember that sparky feeling you have when you were a kid running around the playground with your friends at school when you were like 7, 8 years old? I had that feeling. I hadn't had that feeling my whole life. It had gone. When I went on this diet, this carnivore diet, this keto diet, suddenly that feeling came back to me. And that is why I knew this diet was going to work. Well, if you eat the right foods, it actually does help depression, guys. Seriously, it does. So the other thing I noticed is I had a problem walking down the stairs. I would walk down the stairs very slowly, very stiff. So I noticed after about a week of doing this diet, I could run down the stairs in the morning rather than holding the banister. And going down one step at a time. So that was a signal to me that the diet works. Because what it is, the number one benefit of being on the carnivore diet and the keto diet is that you stop inflammation. You massively reduce inflammation. So there was another signal. The other thing I had was brain fog. I wasn't very clear-headed. I would keep forgetting things. I didn't feel clarity in my thinking. Within a few weeks, I started to have crystal clear thoughts. So my thinking improved. Then I noticed that my sleeping improved. I was able to sleep through the night. Whereas before, when I was eating sugars and pastas and potatoes and breads and pizzas and cakes and Doritos and chips and crisps, I didn't sleep properly. I couldn't sleep. My overthinking reduced because I had a real problem with anxiety. Overthinking. That almost completely went away. I don't have it anymore. It's a very common thing, isn't it? Anxiety is a real problem for many people. For me, it was a problem. All of a sudden, it was gone. The big thing for me was the dizzy spells. I was getting 2 or 3 dizzy spells a week. Very strong dizzy spells. They completely stopped. So then I just started feeling younger. I forgot my age. I forgot that I was in my 50s. So when I started the diet, I think I was 55. Suddenly I felt 25. I can't even explain why I feel that age. Yeah, brain fog and overthinking is also caused by your diet, Elizabeth. Yeah, bread will do it. Eating too much, snacking, cereals, oats, not eating enough meat and eggs. It will make your body not work properly because our bodies were designed to work correctly when our bodies are given the right fuel. So, imagine if you had a diesel car and you put petrol in it, it wouldn't work. Imagine if you had a petrol car and you put diesel in it, it wouldn't work. Your body can only work properly if it's given the right fuel. And trust me, cakes, sugar, oats, bread, pasta, potatoes, chocolate bars are not the right fuel. Stuffing your body full of cereal in the morning is not the right fuel. The other thing I learned is this: every illness that we have is caused, almost 99% of the illnesses we get are caused by what we eat, what we put in our mouth. Now, it might take 20, 30 years for it to happen, but if you give your body the wrong food for decades, gradually you will get ill. So I guarantee you that almost all people that are type 2 diabetic have caused it to themselves by eating too much sugar, foods that turn into sugar, for literally 30 years. You make yourself sick. This is part of the other problem people have. They won't accept that how they eat is why they're unwell. Yeah. And that includes things like arthritis as well. How you eat causes how your health is. People think, oh, I caught it, it's something I caught, or I was born with, or I inherited. Nah, 99% of the time, if you're not well, you've done it to yourself by what you're eating. It's that simple. If you can't sleep, if you've got depression, anxiety, there's a high chance that how you eat is adding to the problem. Yeah. For your body to reset itself and go back to default, you need to eat the right way. So the last bit of advice I've got is this: imagine a million years ago, no shops, no bread, no cereals. You're living off the land. So obviously, fruits and vegetables were very different a million years ago. Yeah. They're not like they are now. Now they've been modified and filled with sugar. A million years ago, fruits and vegetables weren't sweet like they are now. They were low carb. Yeah. So how did we live a million years ago? We would hunt animals. We would look for dead animals and scavenge off them. Yeah. Think about it. How did we eat a million years ago? We weren't able to go to the corner store and get a loaf of bread, buy a snack, get a chocolate bar, buy a pizza, get a packet of pasta to boil up, because pasta is not good for you. We are designed to eat in the way that we ate a million years ago. Once you understand that, you'll understand why 70% of the world's population are sick. You'll understand why there is an epidemic of type 2 diabetes, an epidemic of heart attacks and strokes, an epidemic of cancer, because sugar 100% feeds cancer. I repeat, sugar feeds cancer. Yeah. So look up the mitochondria. Look up that word, guys. Mitochondria. If the mitochondria is damaged, and that is caused by sugar, you get cancer. Then you feed it by eating sugar. Scary, I know, guys. So obviously I'm always going to have people that doubt this diet. So what I say to people is this: do your own research. Do your own research. Learn about the diet. Learn about the carnivore diet. Learn about keto diet. Find the people that have had success on the carnivore diet, the keto diet. Look up Dr. Ken Berry. Look up other doctors like Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Anthony Chaffee. Look them up. See the advice that they're given. They prove to you why the diet works. Yeah. So you have to, I actually think for someone to be confident and be successful with the carnivore diet, they have to do their own research so that they within themselves believe the diet. If you doubt the diet, it won't help you. if you doubt the diet, the carnivore diet, the keto diet, you will never stick to it. You'll be off and on it all the time. I don't doubt it because I am a success story. I have been doing this diet for 3 years. My health is better, has been amazing for 3 years because of this diet. So I don't doubt it. I am an experiment that went right. I repeat, I am an experiment that went right. So don't forget, guys, we're on a channel called Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. Hi, Lorna. So we're going to go live in a minute on Defending Elvis. We're going to talk about the Tupelo hardware store. We're going to do a quick live on Defending Elvis, but I thought I'd do a live on the Keto channel. I wanted to discuss the carnivore diet, the keto diet. That's it, guys. We're nearly home. We're just walking up. We're just almost walking up my road. So just go and find out for yourselves, guys. That's my advice to you. Don't listen to Louis. Find out for yourselves. Find out why it works. Understand why fasting is good for you. Understand why fatty meat and eggs are good for you. Understand why fasting is very healthy. Yeah, it's good news, isn't it, about the hardware store? So what I'm going to do, I've done a script on Facebook that I want to read off, but I wanted to go live on it because it's such an important announcement that that store will stay open. It means a lot to me that the Tupelo hardware store won't be sold off, won't be broken up. So I want to read off that script and give Team Elvis the chance to just say how pleased we are. How pleased we are that it's not going to shut. It's funny because Priscilla tried to say it, didn't she? Priscilla tried to say, oh, Gracelands is going to be broken up and sold off. It was never true, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, not a fact. So, guys, 5 minutes, we'll be on Defending Elvis, okay? So, yeah. Do you know what? I like walking around in the dark. I like the smell in the air. Yeah, it's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? Very good news. So obviously I did a video today on Anne Margaret, and there's another video that I've posted on Anne Margaret that will be out. I think I've done it so it gets uploaded at 8 p.m. on Defending Elvis. So on the Defending Elvis channel, there's another Anne Margaret and Elvis video at 8 p.m. UK time. But right now, I'm going to do a quick live about the Tupelo hardware store. Right, we're home. Yeah, my wife's out because there's one car gone. Right, we're home, guys. My house behind me. Thanks for listening to Louis waffling on about the carnivore diet, keto diet. And I'll see you in 5 minutes. Take care, guys. 5 minutes. Ella, say goodbye. Ella, you happy? She enjoyed. Look at her. She's still full of energy. Yeah. Shh, she's funny. Okay, guys. Ooh. We're home.